it's time to choose my October TBR, and I can't believe it. It is almost October, and this year is quickly coming to an end. But of course, before I choose the books for next month, I'll go over what I read in September, well, specifically for my TBR game and the Ultimate Reading Challenge. Is that what it is? So first, the ones that I chose with the TBR game were Maiden of the Needle, and this was a fantastic light novel, which I've already reviewed, so you can go and check that out if you want to know my thoughts on it, but I just adored most of this book, except for some of the grammar. Then there was book 2 of Seventh Time Loop, which I also just love. This is one of my favorite series, I think, because it is like heavy on the romance and the relationship between the two, even though of course the setup was that she was going kind of with an enemy, and he can bring about the like end of the country and a lot of wars, but of course with her interacting, things are a little bit different. I haven't reviewed this one yet, but I want to just talk about like where the series is going and like what happened, so look for the full review of this soon. And then for, let's see, no, I want this one. For the library book, it was read the first book you see that's on your TBR. So of course when I was at the library, I saw this one, The 7-Year Slip, which I have been dying to read. I loved Ashley Poston's, oh goodness, I can see the cover. Is it on here? The Dead Romantics. I loved The Dead Romantics from, I think, was it released last year? Anyway, I read it whenever it was out. Like, I'd put it off for a while, just worried about like the whole ghost elements, and then I fell in love with it. So I picked up The 7-Year Slip. This one deals with a time slip. So there's an apartment that the main character lives in. It was left to her by her aunt, who she was very close with, and she's been living there. But her aunt had warned her that there is this weird time slip that happens and to be careful. And it kind of covers the aunt story and what happened to her and her relationship. And then, of course, our main character meets someone in the apartment who came to stay. And it's, you know, their relationship. Will they find each other again? How will that relationship have changed? Will there be an understanding of this whole time slip thing? And it was cute. I enjoyed this one. I would recommend it, especially if you like romances, and if you liked The Dead Romantics and you like Ashley Poston's writing style, then you'd probably enjoy this one. I did. I didn't enjoy it as much as The Dead Romantics, but I did really like it, so I would recommend this one. And then finally, for the big TBR game, I had to choose, I think, a book that was a different length from the one I've been reading. Is that it? Let me pull it up. I'll pull it out and see. So I think I went with, ooh, they're stuck together. Yes, find and read a book that is much longer than your usual reads. And I will admit that I've been putting off reading longer books. So I picked up one that I have been dying to get to, and it's The Dark Mirror by Juliet Marieller. You probably remember from before, I'm a big fan of her work. And so, like, this one's been in the background. It's actually book 1. I don't remember if it's a duology or a trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. So I haven't gotten to the other books yet. So this is a good start to a new trilogy. Well, it's not new. It's new to me. The book itself is older. But this was Bride is a young nobleman fostered at the home of Broshan, one of the most powerful druids in the land. His earliest memories are not of hearth and kin, but of this dark stranger who, while not unkind, is mysterious in his ways. The tasks that he sets for Bride appear to have one goal, to make him a vessel for some distant purpose. What that purpose is, Bride cannot fathom, but he trusts the man and is content to learn all he can about the ways of the world. But on a bitter midwinter's eve, Bride finds a child on their doorstep, and this event will change Bride's world forever, and possibly wreck all of Broshan's plans. The child can only come by the way of the fair folk, and all counsel the babe's death. But Bride sees an old and precious magic at work here, and heedless of the danger, fights to save the child. Broshan is relents but is wary. The two grow up together, and as Brede comes to manhood, he sees the shy girl Tuala blossom into a beautiful woman. Roshan sees the same process and feels only danger. Tuala could be a key part in Brede's future or could spell his doom. So there's romance in this. There's so much in Juliet Mareller's books that are like deeply romantic, great character relationships, and read very much like classic tales. Like, I don't know, you get it all. You get the folklore in there, and they're all of these groupings, because I think she has branched out recently, but for these, it's very much like traditional Celtic stories, and I enjoy them very, very much, and I'm looking forward to finishing this series, but that was my longer book. I do enjoy a nice long book. It's just sometimes it's hard to get to with all of the shorter books I want to read because they're easier to get through. And the prize for that one are little gift tags with books on them. So maybe if you're giving gifts that are bookish, you can use the little tags. But strange. All right. Some of the prizes I'm not as like down with. I did not do any of the other ones, I don't think, for this time. But I think that should be fine. I should be able to wrap this up at the end because looks like I have 6 left, and there is October, November, and December. So if I do 2 each month, I should be done. And yeah. I don't know. I'll just update you next month on which one I actually choose. Some of these are they're not book-oriented anymore. Like there's Read in a Place You've Never Read Before. Write a letter to someone who has influenced your reading life. This could be a parent, teacher, author, bookstore owner, or friend. And it's anonymous, so obviously like, I wouldn't be reading it out here. And then write down the favorite quote or passage from a beloved book and display it in your home. So like those aren't reading-centric. And then... there was the reread a classic you hated in high school. There's only one book that comes to mind, and I really, really don't want to. Then the ask a family member what book has made a lasting impression on them. Find and read that book. That one's more doable. And then make or order a snack or meal described in a book you've read. So, not really many books left, just more like activities. And that's probably why I've put them off, because it doesn't sound so fun. I am intrigued by the meal or snack one. I think that might be easy to do. And then maybe that reread one. Okay. I might have to finally do a reread of Huck Finn, and I hate that book. But it's fine. That might be what I talk about next month when I am going over what I read for October. I wish there was a spookier book that like I didn't like, but I love most books. But yeah, Huck Finn wasn't my favorite. Okay, so now we have goals for that part. Let us decide the library book and the light novels. As always, I'm going to give them a quick shuffle, and then I will choose what books or what cards will determine the book. I hope I get a different one. I feel like I always get one of the same like things. And is it just like in my shuffling that they always come back to the top? I don't know. Okay, I think that does it for those. Everything wants to fall over me. And now the draw cards. And this is the one that I have to choose. Alright, here we go. Here we go. The draw card is use a random number generator and choose that number card, which, again, I feel like I always get, but at least I can do this one. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get the number, and the number is 12. So let's find the 12th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and 12 is place 3 books on hold and read the one that comes available first. So I will fill you in on what that is. I'm going to have to choose. You know, it's funny though, I do have a bunch of books on hold through Libby. So maybe I'll just do whichever one comes available then. That might be easier for me to accomplish. Yeah, we'll go with whatever comes in first because that will mean that I can actually get to it. But if it seems like that's taking too long, I'll do the book thing and see which one comes first. But I'll fill you in on November on what that book is because that was a card that I can't just immediately choose one. And now for light novels. This is my favorite one because I know that I can get these. They're going to be here. So, all right, let's go for it. Draw from the bottom. Nice. And the bottom card is read a book written by a new author to you. Oh, nice. Okay, so I have to choose one of these that I have not read. It has to be an original and also an author that I haven't read, because there's a book on here that I've read from the author. I think I'm going to go with this one, which I'm looking and I see all these other ones and I'm like, oh, but I kind of want to read that. But this one I've had for a while, and it's A Villainess for the Tyrant by Yu Iran. And yeah, this will be like totally new because I don't know the author. I don't even remember the origin story for this, but I'm going to read it. So there we go. And then the next draw card is draw 4 cards and choose based on your current mood. My current mood is sleepy. So we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Read a book with the as the first word in the title. The doesn't count as the first word, but it's fine. Read a book with your favorite color on the cover. Read a book with a number in the title. Or read a book that is between 200 and 300 pages, which is like all of these. I don't think I have any with a number, so that one's out. I do have a couple of those. What's my mood telling me? Oh, I think I'm going to go with this one because it features not only my favorite color, but it is also like exactly 299 pages, and I've been wanting to read it. So I'm going to go with I Swear I Won't Bother You Again, the first volume in their light novel. This is one that I've read the manga for, but I haven't read the light novel yet, and I want to. So I'm going with this. And really that wraps it up for this month. September was a good month of reading, and I think October will be the same. I've got 2 kind of shoujo-esque light novels to read. I have some books I'm looking forward to getting off of my holds list, so hopefully they come in. I don't know if there's anything else. And if they don't look like they're going to come in time, I will place physical books on hold and see which one comes in. But yeah, that looks good. And then maybe rereading a book I don't like, even though that seems torturous. It might be Huck Finn on the list. And then maybe some snacks that I have referenced in a book. I'm trying to think if there's any of wanting to read. I do have that mystery series with the pies in it, and then maybe I could eat a pie. But that's it for this video. This is some of what I'm reading for October. That's it. Until next time. Bye.